What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk a little bit about the Conquest Grind game mode in Battlefield 5. Conquest Grind is a game mode that reminds me a lot of Domination in the Call of Duty series. There are 64 players per server, 32 on each team with 400 tickets apiece, and the game works by holding the majority of the capture points as well as killing enemies to bleed their tickets. Conquest Grind plays out on 4 maps, the first of which is Rotterdam. The capture points are laid out linearly along the train bridge in the center of the map. There are 3 major lanes of traffic, one on either side of the center train and inside the center train itself. Fighting underneath the tracks is more of an open experience where players mainly struggle for control of a bridge that crosses the small river running through the middle of the map. The second map to offer a grind game mode is Devastation. Devastation sees the map laid out in a much more open way than the other 3 maps. In Devastation, players fight for control of the center point inside the chapel. Other capture points include the ruins to the north and south of the chapel. Devastation offers a somewhat more strategic option for the grind game mode than any other map. The openness allows for a more strategy-based option of capping points rather than the meat grinder option offered on every other map. The third map is Narvik. Grind on Narvik takes place on the bridge of the southern part of the map with a B capture point on the very center of the bridge and A and C on either end. Players fight in a long narrow corridor along the top of the bridge with only 3 sight lines spanning the distance. Options for flanking are available on both sides of the bridge in the form of the bridge's structural support arches, snow-covered ground, and temporary scaffolding. The fourth and final map offered in the grind game mode is Twisted Steel. Much like the other maps available, Twisted Steel is laid out in a long, thin way with random obstacles with no strategical significance seemingly sprinkled along the deck of the bridge in a random fashion. The center capture point of B is placed directly at the center of the bridge above the middle support column. Both A and C are set above the first and third support columns of the bridge at opposite sides. Options for flanking on Twisted Steel are limited solely to a substructure of the bridge built underneath the deck. Players can access these subsurfaces by stairs placed along the sides of the bridge's deck, or by jumping from the bridge and climbing ladders placed on the support columns of the bridge, which lead to the subsurface just below the deck. What do I think of the grind game mode? Overall, I think it's one of the worst modes in the game. To me, it feels like Battlefield is trying to become more COD-like with a run and gun, meat grinding, arcadey shooter aspects that don't reward skill, teamwork, or strategy in any way. Battlefield, to me, has been a nice mix between the arcade shooters such as COD and the hardcore military simulations like Arma. The Conquest Grind game mode seems like a step back in my opinion. While this mode was available, it was nearly impossible for me to find a server playing a different mode than Grind. It was incredibly frustrating. To me, Battlefield is a large-scale strategic game with an emphasis on teamwork and strategy. Grind seems like DICE might have been trying to attract some of the Call of Duty series fanbase. I don't have any problem with that. However, I think DICE performed that poorly. Grind is exactly what it sounds like. A grind to enjoy playing. Grind is full of explosive spam, smoke screens, and players laying prone around every single corner. If you enjoy insanely close quarters environments with minimal to no flanking routes, ridiculously chaotic combat spam of every kind, and the infamous Rambo revive, then you'll love the grind game mode. To me, it's not what Battlefield is or what I think it's supposed to be. It's a game of spawn, die, repeat. Personally, I'm very glad that the game mode is gone for now, and I hope it doesn't return. Or if it does, I hope that I'll be able to find servers playing other game modes this time. If you enjoy grind, please leave a comment on this video and tell me why. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.